Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Today I want to talk about a special edition pen from Hongdian. The company does not call it special edition, but they did produce it in limited quantity and it was launched as a commemorative pen for the Year of the Dragon, and the pen has a little dragon design on its cap. I'm talking about the Hongdian A24, also known as the Hongdian Dragon Pen. If you Google for Dragon Pen Hongdian, you'll find two pens. One is this A24 that comes in this silver color and a metallic red color body. The cap and the rear end stays the same. The other pen is the Hongdian N24, which again has the dragon design, a very similar or almost same design, but the dragon is on the body, and I think the cap for that pen is a wooden cap. I love this full metal body pen. I am also liking the silver color. Let me give you a closer look of the dragon, which is the highlight of this pen. You'll notice that there's a lot of detail happening here. The scales on the body of the dragon, the mustache, the eyes, the horn, the hair on the dragon's face, and the wavy pattern, the entire dragon just swirling around on this pen. It's very nicely done. The lighting and this video is not doing justice to how it looks in real life, but I am liking this design a lot. I'm a big fan of dragons and anything with dragon themes and motifs, and I am loving the detail on this pen. It does look a bit quirky if I look at it from a distance. There seems to be just way too much happening on this design, but when you take a closer look, then you can really appreciate all the work that has gone into the detailing of this design. It does have some quirks, but I'll talk about the overall design highlights first and then talk about the quirks. One is there's this ruby-like gem that is, or stone that is embedded into the back. That gives it a nice touch. It's very smooth to touch. Doesn't rattle, but there is a slight movement if you touch it. There are these wavy patterns on the tail of the pen, but you will also notice if you look closely that there's a dragon tail that is coming up here and then ends here. I try to show a closer look, but if you look closely you can find the tail of a dragon that's just over those waves. All right, and the dragon theme extends on to the nib as well, which is a very nice touch. Let me see if I can reduce the lighting here. Can you see the dragon theme design on the nib? Well, I don't think I'm able to capture it properly here. I'll try one more time. The nib is in focus, but the light is just throwing the design off. Let me try it in a different angle. Yeah, so the wavy design that you see in the back of the pen continues on the grip section as well, and that offers nice grip and friction for the grip for holding the pen. The quirks I talked about was that the body has some design that looks like it's etched onto it, but you can't feel the etching because there's some thin layer of acrylic on top of this pen that is giving it a smooth finish. But yeah, I think through the finish you're still able to see the etching that was on the body, and it looks really cool to look at. I wish I could feel the pattern, that would have been nice, but it looks good, it's okay. So the other quirk I found was this ring. I was wondering why it exists. I thought the first thing that came to my mind was these pens that are in hospitals or in public places where you have to fill a form and the pen is tied to a string so that you don't move away with the pen, and that doesn't make sense for a fountain pen, which is a very personal item. But a little bit of googling helped me understand that some of these pens come with these rings so that you can attach it to a chain, put it across your neck, and then your pen is readily accessible from your neck, and then you give it a twist right and put it back, and then it continues to hang around your neck. I'm not a big fan of the idea. I don't think I'll ever do that. But yeah, now the pen is a full metal pen, so it's got a light, nice weight to it. The dragon acts like a roll stop, right? So the pen is not going to roll over on your desk. But I have found something interesting. As long as you drop it relatively in the middle, the pen tries to find a balance to come back on top so that the dragon is always on the top. There is a bit of a break in the design at the back. This little metal line with some Chinese characters etched onto it. I don't know what that means. Hopefully it says dragon. I don't know. But yeah, overall really good looking pen. If you want to compare it to other pens, let me bring some pens into view. Alright, so I have the TWSBI Eco here. The thickness of the cap is very comparable to the thickness of the TWSBI Eco. It falls in the same range as the Preppy and the Metropolitan here from a height standpoint. Let me uncap some of these so that you can get a sense of how they look uncapped. As you can see, they all have very similar heights, but it's got a thick section, grip section, than the Metropolitan, but slightly thinner than the one on the Platinum Preppy. Let me put this aside and bring this pen back in view. The pen can be posted, so when posted, it covers up comes correctly up until the point where the golden rear ends and there's a dragon facing your writing, but this cap is very heavy. Not everyone will find it comfortable to post it and write it. I prefer not posting this pen. So let's do some writing samples to see how this pen works. I originally started using this with Pelikan inks, specifically the Pelikan 4001 in brown. The pen did not write well. I was often facing issues where it would write one sentence continuously and then stop writing for a few seconds, and then the flow would start again, write properly for another 1 or 2 sentences and stop. I tried widening the feed by running a blade through the nib section, but that didn't help as well. So last week I tried changing the ink, and as soon as I changed the ink, I started having no problem with writing as such. So now what I'm using is Krishna Dilli ink. Let's try a writing sample with that. This pen is the Hongdian A24 and the ink is Krishna Dilli. This is a special edition ink that's supposed to have some sheen on it, but I can't see it. Maybe it's because I have to mix the ink up and I've not used it for a while. All the sheen has settled down in the bottom of the ink barrel. But yeah, regardless, it's a purple ink with a golden sheen. Ignore the sheen part. This pen writes very reliably and very consistently in all directions. There's no variation. There's no line variation as such from the strokes that you do sideways with the strokes you do top to bottom. They all land the same. Let's do another writing sample where I write one more sentence. One more thing I noticed was that when I'm doing writing like in print letters, the pen does write well, but it's not as wet as it is when I write it sideways in italics. So if I were to write quick brown fox, this seems to drop more ink. Mostly because I think there is a little bit of stretch happening to the nib, light flex happening when I hold it this way, allowing it to draw more ink out. I did face some issues even after changing the ink. If I left the pen overnight and then started using the next day, I had to give it a few having good flow even after I change the ink, and overnight it is troublesome. But I think I can fix it by trying different combinations of ink, or a little bit of tweaking of the feed might be possible. This pen comes with a converter installed. There was no cartridges. I don't think you can eyedropper this, but because as you can see the light from the rupee at the bottom, this is not airtight. There is a seal provided, but I don't think this is not meant to be eyedropped. This converter has good amount of capacity. It's definitely more than an ml, and yeah, you can use it for quite a while. I don't prefer posting it, and it's not a pocket friendly pen if you think about it, but it is definitely good for daily use. Definitely will turn ice. I love the design. I love how it looks. Yeah, so saying I would use this every day, but since it does not have a clip, I don't think I can use it as a pocket pen, and no way am I going to put a chain around my neck to carry this around. But this pen definitely has a space in my pen case, and I think I'll carry it around. I really love the design and the look. This pen is no longer available in India, but when it was available for around 5,500 rupees, I couldn't find a website that was still selling it in India. This I bought it from Amazon.com. My friend brought it over for me. It's about $37 in the US, roughly around 3,200 rupees. But if you can get your hands on it, I would highly recommend it. It's a very unique piece, and I love this pen. So, yeah, if you have any questions, do feel free to drop it in the comments. And if you do like this video and my content, do give a like and subscribe. And do check out my other videos. I talk mostly about pens and sometimes a little off on some electronics. Yeah. Thanks for your time, folks. See you around. Bye.